shells today. What did they look like? What were some of the overall observations?
They were really good out there. They were excited and running around, and they were physical. We pounded the fist a little bit today. They were great.
Coach, I want to ask you about this We Want to Play movement that's been spreading all over Twitter last day or so. What's your take on this?
It's the piece that people don't really understand unless you've been in a locker room. What those players we talked about today. They usually get to play about 40 or 50 snaps a game. Each play is about 4 seconds, so they're playing right at 200 seconds a game, which is about 3.5 minutes a game. For 12 games, they're talking about 36 to 40 minutes of playing football. That's not a lot of those kids. They love to play the game, don't get me wrong. But there's a much greater value to football than just playing the game. That culture talk, our brand, we talk about all the time, it's a carrot to make an incentive to those young men to do the right things in life. When we take the football away, they're going to get right. And they know they need that. We knew we needed it when we were young men. So that's the thing that's it's very sad, and those kids don't want to lose that. They love being a part of the locker room. This is the best part of their day for all these young men. And it breaks my heart to think that we don't understand how important the game of football is for those young men. That's what it's about.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, Chase, you're up. Greg, you're on deck.
Yeah, Coach, to kind of build on JJ's question and your answer there, you know that all these young men are on social media. They see all these different things. What do you tell them as a coach, or what can you tell them as a coach to kind of keep their focus here and to give them some reassurance right now?
We talk about it all the time. It's what's scary about the way we are today. All that matters is what our closest people think about us. What does our family think? What do our teammates think? What do our coaches think? Our real inner circle. We live in such a society where we're all so worried about what everybody thinks. All that matters is what our closest people really believe. And we've had to bubble ourselves so we can make sure we don't have COVID, so we can go play the game. And our bubble is enough right now. It's sad I haven't seen my mom and my dad. I hate that. We're all dealing with that. But it reaffirms to us how close our bubble is and the relationships we're developing. And I can only speak about our team, how our team's responded. And I love being with them every single day. And they love being with us every single day. And it's not easy, man. Football's not easy. Padding up and being out there for 3 hours is not easy. But we love being around each other. We love what we have here. And that's really all I can speak on what our guys do. Our guys do it right.
Excellent. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, Greg, you're up. Travis, you're on deck.
Jeff, one of the points that was raised in that conversation yesterday was the idea that actually playing the season is safer for players than not playing the season. Is that a sentiment you agree with?
There's a risk either way. There's no doubt about it. I do feel like there's a greater risk of the kids not playing. It's my personal opinion. You asked it, so I gave it. Just because what's our plan? What's our plan for these young men if we take this away from them? What do we have for them? That's a high risk. There's risk involved in football, period. We all understood that. We all played the game. We've all coached the game. We all love the game. So these kids have thought through it. I mean, they get tested here once a week. When we're done, if they were to cancel the season, we're still going to test them. What is that going to look like? That's my greater. I have an issue, period, if we don't play. But number two, if we don't, what's that going to look like if we don't play? We need to have a plan in place for these young men so we can go out and execute that plan to give these kids hope, keep them fighting every day. We lose hope as humans. That's not good. And we need to be tough, strong, and fight for what we believe in right now. And our kids are committed to doing that.
Okay, Travis, you're up.
And Coach, saying all that, it feels like college football is trending in a direction where this week it could possibly get shut down. Do you get that sense from what you're hearing?
I try my hardest to never look at it. I really do. I'll even start to unfollow certain people because I don't want to know stuff. And I know you're thinking, well, Coach, you can't bury your head in the sand. I got enough people. You know, Kyle keeps me abreast. Dr. Compost lets me know. You guys are great about letting me know. And I don't want you to think that I don't not respect what's going on. I do. But I also know what we have going on here. And it just breaks my heart to think that these guys might not do this anymore. And it's going to take somebody with some strength and some courage. Texas High School Coaches Association, those guys are rolling. They're putting out their stats every day about how they're testing, how many of their kids, 0.05%, whatever that is. And it can be done. It's just a matter of, are we willing to do it?
Okay, Greg.
Jeff, you mentioned that information is everywhere. And, if you're seeing it, obviously the players are seeing a lot of this stuff as well. As the reports come out and things, does it change the atmosphere in practice or how they respond to what you guys are doing?
You would think it would, but it just reemphasizes how much these kids have bought into what we're teaching them about our culture here. This week's Pound the Fist. It's a great reminder. This is more than just football. It's more than just a game. It's being a part of something greater than the individual. And these guys know this is not just a blip on the radar for them. We're going to have real relationships with these men for the rest of their lives. And that's why it's so tough on all of us. And I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's when I first got the job, what is my why? How many men can I make out of how many boys? And when you take the football away from me, I don't have that ability to help young men become men. And I've said it before, I was a high school coach for 15 years, had 30 seniors a year. That's 450 boys. How many of those became men? How many of those helped their families, helped their city, helped their state, helped their church, helped their community? That's what a man does. A boy takes. A boy takes. A man gives. And you take the football away from us, that's every single coach. And we're not their parents. We're not their parents. We understand that. But our job is to help parents. And for the kids that don't have parents, a lot of us have become that for them in their lives. And when you remove that coach from all those old men, all those young men, that's not good for them. And I just wish more people understood that.
One of the interesting developments in the conversation yesterday was some of the Power 5 players started pushing for essentially what amounts to a players' union. Do you see that as something that would be a positive development for the sport?
It's always been a players' game. Our players understand that. Our players have great ideas. They should have a seat at the table, but they. And they know I'm going to make the final decision. They know I'm going to listen to it. There's some ideas we got going on the field right now that those are some kids' ideas. They know we listen to them. And that's a two-way street. They got to listen to us. We got to listen to them. And that's what coaching is.
Hey, at UTSA, how do they get a chance to voice that? Is it just like an opportunity to speak up in team meetings, or how do you make them feel like they have some power in what goes on?
Well, we'll eventually pick a leadership council, one representative from each group, and they're all competing for those jobs right now. And I'll meet with them once a week for an hour, and they know they're representing each one of their groups. It's kind of formulating a little bit on its own right now, even though we haven't voted for it. Just ideas they have, anything like they don't feel comfortable with, we'll talk about it. I really don't. We got it taken care of for them. And that's how you know someone's listening. You don't always give them everything they want, but if it's something they need, we can take care of it. We're going to do that for them.
Okay, Hector, you're up. Hector, did you have a question?
Or not be muted.
Now I'm unmuted. Apologies, Coach. Good.
You went from mute to being frozen.
Hello?
You there, Hector?
Yes, can you hear me, Coach?
I got you. I look frozen now. Here we go. We're good, Hector.
You can hear me, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right. Apologies for all that. Along the lines of Greg's questions here, Coach, in the short term, with this we want to play movement, is it too early to kind of go down the road of, let's say the conferences do decide we're postponing the fall? Is it too early to even look at the options of we want to play and what that can result in right now? I mean, what would that mean in terms of possible football in the fall, even with what was decided by the conferences and maybe the NCAA? Is it too early to start looking at those kinds of scenarios?
It's a great question. I hope the powers that be have been somewhere meeting. It's a lot of smart people in this country. We need leadership. We need somebody to get the greatest minds together and get a plan going. And I hope and pray that's what's going on behind closed doors. And I have faith that's what's going on. So whenever this time comes, if it really does happen, Hector, that someone has a plan that we can all follow. That's what great leaders do. And I'm sure you all want the same thing.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll get Coach Mattox in here shortly.
Thank y'all, man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Coach, so I'm going to have you kind of take a step back, half a step backwards, if you don't mind. Trying to get the edge of the frame for the backdrop is right at the top, so I'm trying to get that clipped. And even though the monitor is kind of up top, if you don't mind on this responses, just take a look down towards the camera. It does look a little like you're looking upwards, but I understand because the monitor's not best for its position. Just give me a quick 10 count, make sure your audio is good. Okay, keep going.
Okay, this is Coach Mattox here.
All right, we'll do one last adjustment. All right. All right. I'm good. Kyle, it's all you.
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Coach Mattox. JJ, you're up.
Coach, thanks for joining us today. You got a few days of practice under your belt. Got to see your guys in shells today. Well, what are just some of the overall impressions you've had of your group?
Well, I think number one, we've got a lot of guys that are hard workers, guys that are excited about the brand of football we're bringing, excited about going to work with each other every day. And the thing I'm finally, getting to see now that we're running plays and doing some things, I'm seeing how athletic we have, that some of those guys, or a lot of our guys are. We've got a lot of big, powerful guys that can run. And so that's always an exciting physical traits to be able to go in and work with. And now we're just working to gel together and get everything done for communication and working now the physical part of it.
So you're the offensive line coach and the run game coordinator. Can you, I guess, tell us what that means in layman's terms? Like, what are some of your responsibilities?
Yeah, just number one, implementing run game schemes, breakdowns when it comes to the weekly installs and the weekly game plans. Working with tight ends and running backs and the O-line, doing group work together, whether that's during walkthrough time or during, inside run and things like that. But just helping develop the script for the run game throughout practice, throughout the week, and then just coordinating with the running backs coaches, tight ends coaches, and everybody involved in anything that may be run game specific.
What's your, I guess, overall observation of the offensive line so far? What have you seen out of those guys? And what are some of the expectations you have of that group?
Well, my expectation number one is to play clean football, and that starts with assignment sound, being great technique and fundamental guys, being hard workers, guys that are going to finish every single snap. We're going to go one play longer than the defense, and that's got to be our mentality, that +1 mentality. And and so far I've seen that, and those guys are athletic, they're big. We're just working right now to work our combos, to work our communication, to just start to get the intricacies of the offense down. We spend a lot of time on just the who to block and what to do, but now it's the how and the actual process of doing. So we're excited about that, and today was day one with our shoulder pads on to really start that journey.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Greg, you're up.
Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Coach Traylor actually mentioned to me a couple months ago that within your role that you might be able to have a say in like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 play calls or things like that. What is within a game day your role as the run game coordinator? How does that work on game days?
Yeah, I think obviously game day specific. We're going to be in there after the week is over, and we're going to be, with Coach Lunny, I'll be, sitting down with him and making sure as we get into a game actual script or a game that we're going to have our top runs for formation, for everything. And obviously Coach Lunny will have that all down. But then in the actual flow of the games, that's going to be my job to see if there's a blocking scheme adjustment, if there's some sort of, we need to go to a different play, maybe if we need to do some different formation, maybe add a receiver motion in, do whatever we need to do, especially talking short yardage. But, the game day operation of me is really going to come down to making adjustments, seeing sometimes, you plan sometimes one week for something and you get majority of something else, and you just got to be able to make those adjustments and make sure your guys are ready to be able to go out and execute.
Are you comfortable with overall how far along you guys are in the offensive install? Do you have to scale it back at all, given that you kind of didn't have spring and things of that nature?
Well, Coach Lunny does a great job of taking his time and making it to where our guys have that ability to process and to get some information in. Now, we got a lot of meetings via Zoom and things, and I'm very proud of our players. If you probably would have asked me how much are they going to retain through all these Zoom meetings, I was pretty hesitant about it. But when we were able to get back out and do our walkthroughs a few weeks ago, I was very pleasantly surprised, and those guys did a great job of taking ownership and learning that stuff. And we were able to at least be past our base stuff a little bit once we started going. So I was excited for that. But Coach Lunny does a great job of putting us in a position where our guys get a chance to see it, feel it, walk it, and then go out and execute it.
What's your impression of Spencer Burford? How does he fit into the offensive line picture for you guys?
Well, obviously, physically a very, very talented young man. Mentally, got a high IQ. So obviously, he's got a lot of the traits there that a great offensive lineman need and desire. And so, very excited for him to just see. The thing is no matter what kind of work I give him or things I, challenge him to do. And him and I have had those communication, for this year as far as what we want to see him do to take the next steps. The great thing is he puts that same type of pressure and that he holds himself up to a high standard. And so, anytime you have somebody that's self-motivated and holds himself up to a high standard, especially when you add, a very talented individual, you have a chance to put something together special. So we've got our things that we're going to work on this year and take his game to the next level, but very excited for what's going to be his future for sure.
Is he still working at guard, or is there a potential for him to play tackle for you guys?
Yeah, he's actually moved out to left tackle for us right now. So, that's a great skill set for him. He's long, he's athletic, he's rangy, and again, high IQ out there for us. So it's being able to have our tackles up and seeing what's going on and helping with communication. So he's been playing left tackle right now for us.
And you guys also have Jalen Galmore coming back. What's been your impression of what he's brought to the table?
Well, Jalen's, I've told him he's the old Wiley veteran. So, I know he's had some, obviously a horrific injury there with his knee and just getting himself back. But he's done a good job from this summer of getting back in shape and giving himself a chance to go out and compete this camp. And so, just getting back in the flow of things. When you miss ball that long for injury and things, you just kind of working yourself back in and being comfortable with your own body again. And I think he's a little bit by a little bit doing that. And so now it's just kind of getting the plays and moving forward, but definitely excited about having somebody like Jalen who's played a lot of ball in his career.
Overall, what's it been like with all the different protocols and precautions in place? How has practice been going from that perspective?
Well, I'm very excited, number one, between Dan and Nick, our training staff, and all the things that they put into place. Obviously, the education and letting us know how to do things, what to do, what our protocols are, just being transparent with that. But everything's been smooth. Our guys have handled it very maturely. I think that's the great thing about you always want these young kids to grow up and be more mature and stuff like that. Well, this is their opportunity to show the world basically that they can be mature and they can handle these things. And they've done a great job with the distancing and wearing masks and following the protocol that they had to follow with the training staff every day. But besides putting on a mask inside or whatever, other than that, normal for what we got to do, just keep our distance and stuff. But no big deal for us, that's for sure.
Do you personally feel safe with the prospect of having a college football season, or how do you evaluate it at this point?
Well, I feel safe because I feel like the health professionals that are leading this and have set the parameters for what we need to do to keep us safe are great protocols. And like Coach Traylor preaches here, I mean, this is just, our chance to bubble our team. And, it's tough at times when you maybe don't get to see it. I know my mom was going to travel down here, from Kansas, and I haven't been able to see my family this summer and things like that. But, with what our health professionals have done and our training staff and the leadership they've given us, I feel like, they've given us a chance to be very, very safe.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Anything else for Coach Mattox? All right. Thank you. We'll get Brenden Brady in there.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to kind of reframe it real quick. Go ahead and just kind of give me a 10 count. Let's make sure we get your audio.
Oh, yep. I'm Brenden Brady.
Wait, keep going. Don't mind.
Yeah, I play running back. I'm a junior here at UTSA.
Okay. Right. Turn up your audio up real quick. 1 second. All right. I think Kyle already mentioned before, even if you don't mind, even though the monitor's kind of above the camera, if you just give your responses by looking into the camera, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm good. Kyle, I'm going to mute myself as all.
All right. We'll open it up for questions for Brenden. JJ, you're up first, and then Hector, you're on deck.
Hey, Brenden, how's it going? How was practice today in pads?
Pretty good. I mean, just being able to get out there in shells and actually be able to bump a little bit. Definitely getting used to getting hit again. But it was good for our football team to see where we're at. Slowly getting into the meat of things.
What's it been like trying to get into like a normal practice session with all the stuff going on with the concerns with COVID and all the extra safety measures? What's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been different. Like I said, there's been things that have been really different. Social distancing is a thing but when we're out there on the field, it's football. So there's not too much you can do to make things different when you're going full speed and drills and run-throughs against the scout team and things like that. But as far as safety measures, the health professionals here at UTSA are making sure we're safe. So I have no issues with that.
Over the last few days, there's been a lot of uncertainty talked about with this college football season. What's the mood amongst the players with, wanting to play this season, and just what are your overall thoughts on everything that's going on?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely start with Coach Traylor. He's instilled the culture in us from day one as soon as he got here, that just win the day. You get the day, and that's all we're worried about. We all want to play. We all go out there every day like it's our last day because you never know. And so whenever we go out there, we just practice to the fullest, and we never take anything for granted. So being able to be out there with your brothers playing the sport that you love is definitely never taken for granted.
Thanks, Brenden.
So,
Okay, Hector, you're up.
Hey, Brenden, good morning, man.
good morning.
Hey, you probably, I'm assuming you don't know, having just stepped off the field, but it broke a little while ago that Old Dominion is postponing its football season. So now that gives you guys a third open date. Let's assume that you guys do have a college football season. I know you're probably hearing this in real time, but, when you hear something like that, yet another college football program and one in your conference has now decided that they're not playing, have any instant reaction to that?
I mean, with all due respect, I'm worried about UTSA football and what we're doing. And as long as we're bubbling ourselves and taking care of what we can control, I mean, everything's going to be fine with us. I mean, I can't really speak for other teams and what they're doing. But I know right now our health professionals say we can go right now. Otherwise, we'd be shut down. And so we're just taking it day by day, like I said before. And Coach Traylor is doing a good job of keeping us engaged and keeping us prepared. And he's communicating with us constantly. And so as a coach, I respect that. And everybody's head's still in the game because if you take it out, you could lose it. So we're all engaged.
How difficult is that, Brenden, to stay engaged given, the umbrella under which you're operating right now?
I mean, the circumstances aren't ideal, but like anybody has said, it's not ideal for anybody. Every college in the United States is going through this right now. And so, like you said, you never know. But if you lose focus and you do have a season, that could really hurt your team. And right now we're building a brotherhood here, and the culture is really strong. And so just to be able to maintain our focus as a team and control what we can control, we'll be able to go out there game week one and play to the best of our ability if we have one. So that's really important for us right now is to stay focused.
Thank you, Brenden.
Yes, sir.
JJ, did you have a question, or is your hand?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to
Oh,
put my
okay.
hand down.
Okay, Chase, you're up.
Put your hand down, JJ. Hey, Brenden, I know you guys have worked so hard this offseason, and right now I know you're all on social media too. So you see kind of the college football world, everything going on. You as a guy that's been around the program for several years, how do you keep the younger guys that might lose focus and might be paying more attention to that on your goals right now, on getting better each day and preparing like there will be a season?
Well, I feel like as a veteran guy, we've been through some different things. These new guys, this first year that they're coming in, a lot of them, this is what they're used to, and this is what they think college football is. And ideally, it's not. But in a sense, they're going to go hard because this is what they think it is. As older guys, you gotta keep coaching them, keep coaching them up and bringing them along, and that's really all you can do. Just be there for them and help them grow as a player. Everybody's mindset is to keep playing, and that the freshmen and the transfers that we got in are doing a really good job of contributing to the team already. So, yes, sir.
I appreciate you standing in for these. But you personally, this offseason unconventional, I know you probably had a lot of individual time to work out. How have you seen your game rise, and what kind of steps do you think you've taken forward heading into this season?
Yeah, I feel like this offseason was good for a lot of people. But me personally, I think that I definitely got a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. Our strength staff did a good job when we were able to come back for voluntary workouts of preparing us as well. But the time off that we had before that, still being able to stay in shape and working out and doing some things on our own because we needed to make sure that we was good when we got back. So it was definitely important for us to stay in shape.
It's been real neat on social media to see everything from NFL guys to guys that are playing at different colleges from San Antonio really taking notice at just how many guys from this city are playing for this team right now. How much, as a local guy, pride do you take in that of making this into San Antonio's college football team?
I mean, man, I've been saying it for 3 years. I mean, you don't have to leave to find a good program for you. I mean, you're going to find a good head coach and Coach Traylor in an up-and-coming program like UTSA, so you don't have to go anywhere. I mean, all these bigger schools is cool and all, but if you want a chance to be coached hard and loved and you want an opportunity at the next level, then UTSA is the place for you. You don't have to leave. But like I've been saying for 3 years, you can stay home. Find everything you need in the college right here.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Greg.
Brenden, one of the ideas that
My bad. I'm sorry.
yeah. I was gonna say one of the ideas that got discussed within the last couple of days is that some people say it's safer to play this season than to not play this season. Is that an idea that you agree with, or where do you stand on that?
I mean, I'm just a player. I'm not a health official. I don't know anything about the whole virus and everything like that and how it affects you. But like I said, if people want to play football, I think they should be able to play football. I mean, the health officials have done a good job of setting proper protocols for us. And so we're able to practice right now. And so that should be good enough for us right now. And so, like I said, we're just taking it one step at a time. And hopefully we'll be able to play.
It's interesting to hear you say, call yourself just a player, because the last 24 hours, the players have really started to take a pretty big voice in this. Do you feel like you guys have a say in the direction things go and how that happens?
I do think we have a say. I think collectively as a group, we do have a say. Our voice can be strong enough and can be heard. But at the same time, you just gotta roll with the punches and hopefully that the officials that they'll make the right decision. In the end, you just gotta control what you can and roll with the punches.
Coach Traylor said you guys have had some input in just kind of how things look around UTSA, like how different procedures go or how practice might be run or things like that. Sort of what is the process of voicing your opinion to the coaches and kind of making the changes that you guys want just here locally?
I mean, Coach Traylor definitely loves his players. He definitely listens to them and values their opinion and input. And so I feel like anything that we say, he's definitely going to take it and work with it. He's definitely want to accommodate for his players. So we really appreciate that. But Coach Traylor does an amazing job.
Cool. Thanks, Brenden.
Anything else for Brenden? All right, we'll get Spencer in there. Thank you.
Spencer's in here.
Go ahead, if you don't mind, just give us kind of a 10 count, make sure your audio sounds good.
You said what?
Go ahead and kind of count to 10, so make sure your audio sounds good.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sorry, I realized my mic was muted to you through the speaker. It's probably easier to hear me now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look good, sound good. I'm going to go ahead and do one quick adjustment, and then I think we're ready to rock. You don't mind, go ahead and take another half step back. Thank you. All right, there we go. All right, I'm good. How are you?
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Spencer Burford. JJ, you are up first.
Spencer, how's it going? What was practice like this morning?
It was great, man. Guys were flying around making plays all over the field. It was real high in competition. Guys were being saved by keeping each other off the ground and stuff like that. So it was a good practice.
You guys put some pads on today with some shells. What was it like getting back out there? Probably the first time since the end of last season, right?
Yes, sir. It was great. Like I said, getting back into contact just for the love of the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just playing it like you was a kid. Just to get out there again was a great opportunity. It's a blessing. And so we just took it and ran with it. We had the most. I think we improved today.
Coach Mattox was telling us you moved to the offensive tackle position. What's that transition been like for you, moving from the inside to the outside?
The inside to the outside, it wasn't as big as a transition. Luckily, I got the opportunity and the blessing to have the both reps like I got last year, and so just readjusting my footwork and readjusting the target and communication as far as those things go and all those essentials. I feel like it's been a pretty good move.
Thanks, Spencer.
No problem.
All right, Greg, you're up. Hector, you're on deck.
Spencer, what's it been like practicing with all the different protocols and safety precautions in place? How has that changed what fall looks like for you?
We just been taking it day by day, doing what the coaches are telling us as far as the safety precautions and everything going as far as with the COVID and stuff like that, as far as being safe and being as more minorities as we possibly can, making sure that everything is in line, everybody's following the same rules, so we'll be able to stay safe and be able to continue to practice and move forward.
Do you feel safe with the prospect of playing a full college football season, or where do you stand on that right now?
I personally do feel that I would be okay playing football. I mean, like I said, I just want to get back on the field just like everybody else. I believe that anybody that's putting in the work and the time and the effort to put into their craft and they still have the love and the hunger for the game, I feel like it shouldn't be taken away. But at the same time, like I said, it's bigger than us, but we have a voice. And if I had to say so, I would love to continue playing.
All right, Hector, you're up.
Spencer, good morning, man.
Good morning.
Hey, same thing I asked Brenden just a little while ago. You probably don't know, but Old Dominion just announced that it's postponing its football season. So, I'm guessing you're hearing that, and so to react in real time, just in any, with September 5th already open, September 19th already open, and now October 17th open. Just your initial reaction to that kind of news, given the umbrella under which you guys are operating.
Like I said, we can only control what we can control. We can't control like I said, we're just taking care and focusing on our team mostly as far as the insides and outs. And we're just going to follow the protocol. Whatever Coach tells us to do, we're just going to follow him. But as of now, we're worrying about the UTSA at this point.
Gotcha. And Spencer, this might be a tough question to answer, but is it too early to kind of think about, let's say the conferences, including Conference USA, do decide no football, we're postponing. With your guys' desire to play and the we want to play movement and what we've seen take hold the last couple of days, is it too early to ask if maybe there is a course that you would take so that there is kind of football in some way, shape, or form this fall? I mean, is it way too early to kind of go down those roads?
I wouldn't say it's too early because at the same time, we've been dealing with COVID since spring. You have to remember that some teams didn't even get to have a spring ball. And so as far as that, we got the opportunity to come back early, and we were able to do voluntary workouts proceeding with the COVID procedure as far as sanitary and stuff like that. And so I feel like it's not too early to address issues as far as that goes.
Thank you.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
Spencer, kind of the similar topic. Do you feel like players as a whole have a voice in whether the season happens or even how things are handled, as far as the protocols and things? I think that's become a talking point the last day or so.
I believe the players are the most powerful people in the game right now as far as the movement. As far as at the end of the day, yes, you have the coaches, yes, you have the officials, but if there's no players to play the game, I mean, there is no game of football. Football is just going to be football. You got to have people to play with the ball in order to have the game. So I feel like they have the most power as of right now. Their voice can make a huge difference in things going forward. But at the same time, you have to look at it from a, I wouldn't say a political standpoint, but as far as all that stuff goes, I don't want to get too deep into that. But I feel like the players have a great voice at this point in time. I mean, if we didn't have a voice any other time, I feel like our voice would be heard definitely right now this time. So I feel like, yes, we do have a great impact.
Do you have that power within your own program here at UTSA? Do the coaches kind of listen to where you stand on things and adjust some of the protocols?
Yeah, our coaches take everything that we say into consideration. I mean, they've just been great, showing a lot of love, a lot of care. And like I said, the communication with the coaches and the players is going good right now. So just that player and coach connection right there. I mean, it's rolling.
Anything else for Spencer? All right. Thanks, Spencer.
Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We got one more player for you. Stand by.
Over here. Keith Maka's in here. You want to reframe the shot getting the test?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and reposition you real fast, so stand by. Go ahead and give us a 10 count to make sure your audio sounds good.
Mic check. Mic check. Like that?
That sounds good. I think Kyle already told you this. If you don't mind, even though the monitor's come above the camera, if you can give your response by looking into the camera, that'd be great. Otherwise, Kyle, I am good. I'm muting myself. All you.
Okay, Ahofitu Maka. We'll open it up for questions for him. JJ, you're up. I may have frozen there. JJ, you're up.
Hey Maka, how's it going? How was practice this morning? I guess your third workout this fall. What was it like out there?
We put on the shoulder pads and we really got to banging. So it was a lot more fun than just being in helmets.
The first time in pads since the end of the last season. What was that physicality like today?
Everybody was just bringing it. I was just trying to lower shoulders into the D line, and they were doing their thing. And other than that, yeah, pretty good.
What was it like, I guess, preparing for these practices with all the safety measures and everything that's going on?
It's a long process, but it was needed. I felt a lot safer with the way they handled it.
Do you feel overall that the school has done as much as they can to keep you guys safe?
Oh yeah, even there's a little bit of a sign, and they would keep us out, and they were constantly communicating with us, the training staff and everything.
All right, thanks, Maka. Appreciate it.
Hey, Greg, you're up.
Yeah, Maka, do you feel, even with all that in place, comfortable going through with practices and with the season as a whole, or is that still kind of a scary prospect for you guys? Where do you stand on whether that's a safe idea or not?
Honestly, I feel pretty confident in my coaches, and I trust them. And I feel like it's been working. So we're social distancing and everything within meetings and everything.
There's been a lot of conversation, even over the last couple of weeks, but even especially the last day or so, sort of trending towards different teams or different leagues canceling. As you guys start to hear that, how does that sort of impact you in practice or change the atmosphere at all?
Well, today at least, it felt like nobody really heard anything. We were going full speed. We were just focused on just winning the day today. We try not to focus too much on what we can't control.
The other thing that gets come up a lot in these conversations is the voice of the players. Do you feel like you have a say in what happens around UTSA or even at whether the season's going to happen or not?
Oh yeah. There's a chain of command. If we feel uncomfortable, we'll talk to Matt Mattox, our one coach, and he'll communicate it up the ladder like that.
Is there anything you guys have pushed for as players that's been implemented, or any changes that you've seen within your group?
The players that needed that felt like they needed to wear the face mask, they got it. There was no struggle towards that at all.
Anything else, Greg?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Anybody have anything else for Maka? All right, we'll let him go. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kyle.